for tuning in to Let's Talk About It with Xavier Fox. Of course, I am your host, Xavier Fox, and this is Financial First Friday. I love Financial First Friday. We get to talk to the experts. Yes, I said experts on financial management and investing to help create wealth and freedom. So we are kicking off today with Boca Warjola. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Hosting his Ease Your Financial Mind segment. Stay with us till 12:30. We're here till 12:30. And I know he has some information that can get you closer to the financial freedom that you seek. And then at 1, make sure you come back and catch me live with Ron Wilson as he gets us caught up on what's going on in the world of crypto. So make sure that you like the page and visit the website, xavierfox.com, to get info on other shows and events coming up. So let's kick this off. How you doing today, sir?
Incredible, incredible, unbelievable. What's going on with you?
Oh, everything's going on with me. Just everything. I
Yeah.
just got done with my celebrating my birthday and all that kind
Happy
of good
birthday.
stuff. And yeah, just having a great time. So
Beautiful.
we were up in Sundara. I got this amazing what was it? It's a detoxifying thermal mud bath, and it was amazing. So yeah,
It
just
sounds amazing.
living life like I love it. That's my new thing. Live it like you love it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Cool.
So tell me what's going on with you and what we're
So,
talking about today.
yeah, no, everything's cool. I guess we'll pick up from where we left off the last time. The last time we were talking about annuities.
Yes.
So let me give a little context here if I can share. Yes, it looks like I can share. And okay, so we talked about, the three parts of your retirement journey, right? And saving and investing journey. And in the beginning, when you're young, you want to accumulate as much as possible. And then there comes a point where you want to accumulate, but you want to protect what you have already accumulated up until then. This is typically 10 years out from retirement. So we talked about how annuities would come in good here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I could do that. Now I want to talk about how annuities could help here on the back end when you're starting to take out the money. Because, we don't save up the money just to save up the money and then just leave it to somebody. We save up the money because
Right.
at some point we're going to use it, right?
That's what we hope to do.
Yeah, to substitute our working. It's like there's a difference between active income and passive income. Active income you have to work for, and if it's active income, you're always at risk. You can get hurt, you can get sick, you know what I mean? You might not be able to work. But passive income, no matter what you do, the income still comes in, right?
Mhm.
And one of the ways to get passive income is through investing and investments. Okay. So now, annuities can come in here when it comes to withdrawing from your retirement assets in retirement, when it's your choice to work. A lot of people say, well, I want to work the rest of my life. First of all, I don't believe it. But secondly, retirement doesn't mean you don't work. It just means you don't what? Have to work.
Oh, yep. Don't have
Work
to.
if you want. No big deal, right? But
Yeah.
any day you can say, I'm tired of this crap. I'm out of here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay, so how do you take from your investments um, in a good way so that you're sure it's going to last the rest of your life? Okay, so let's start from the beginning. So the typical way that most people have been taught up until now to do it is you put your investments in a mix of stocks and bonds and you withdraw a certain amount. And if the withdrawal amount is low enough, the high percentage chance it'll last the rest of your life, no matter what the market does, up or down. Okay. And that percentage has been 4%. Okay.
Okay.
Um, if you invest in equities, which is stocks, and some kind of dividend paying stocks or income producing stocks or bonds, convertible bonds, things like that, then you have a better chance. You can withdraw 4 to 5% from that. And basically, you really don't have to worry about it running out ever, right? And if the market is good, especially in the beginning, it might even grow as you're taking the money out. okay, which would be awesome. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because a lot of times when it comes to markets, we talk about the ups and downs in the market. When you're in retirement, you also have to worry about or key in on the sequence of returns. Because here's what happens. The thing that can hurt you the most in retirement when you're withdrawing from a retirement account is if there's a big down year early. If there's a big down year early, you're at very much risk to run out in your account if you withdraw a certain amount. Okay. If it's a big up year early, you'll probably never run out. You'll probably have more money than you had in the beginning, even though you're withdrawing out. So sequence of returns is very important in retirement if you withdraw from your account that way. So that's the first way. A lot of people do it. Make sure you have the right mix of stocks and bonds. Some people say you can do all equities. I'm one of those people. You can do all equities. They ought to be the right kind of equity mutual funds, not just individual stocks. Okay. So you can do that, right? 4% is the typical number. If you have mostly equities, you can probably go between 4 and 5%. The second way is the annuities we're talking about. So when we talk about annuities, not only good for preserving your money, but you can also get what they call a guaranteed withdrawal benefit, which means that you can take out from the annuity, and even if the amount goes to zero, they'll still keep sending you the checks.
Yeah, you were saying that. Now that is quite a benefit right there.
It's very awesome. It's very, very awesome. Okay. The challenge is so if you do it the first way, more than likely there'll be money in the account still, even if you live 20 years and you can leave that. Okay. However, if you do the guaranteed withdrawal benefit, more than likely you'll deplete that account somewhere between, let's say, 12 and 15 years into taking the money out, right?
Okay.
They'll still send you the checks, but there won't be anything left for your survivors. Okay. And a lot of times with those guaranteed withdrawal benefits, they can increase to keep up with inflation. You can set them that way. Okay,
Okay.
you have to find the right one, but you can do that. So it'll increase a little bit with inflation. However, if you live 12, 15, 20 years, 30 years, right, you'll still keep getting the checks, but there won't be any left for your survivors. Okay.
But you can still leave your survivors money in other ways.
Outside of it, exactly. All right, cool. So that's two ways that you can withdraw from your account. The third way is something called an income fund. Are you familiar? Have you heard of it before? Yeah, income fund. There's every mutual fund company has one of these. And what you have to do is you have to double check the history of that income fund. Because at the time that you're getting into it, it might be giving off 7% a year, right? But that might be because of market conditions, and it doesn't usually give off that much. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to check the history. Has it been given off this much out for how long has it been given off this much? Is it consistent? Has it been doing it for a long time? Is it established? You know what I mean? So you have to check that out. But an income fund will give out a certain amount based on the amount of shares that you have.
Okay.
They give out a certain amount per share. Right now, most income funds should be paying right around 6% a year.
Is that the same as dividends?
They are considered dividends, yes, but the income funds get them a lot of different ways. So they got bonds, they got all kinds of interest in maybe gold miners or something like that. Anything that pays off an income based on the investment. I don't know what all they have. I just know that the ones that I deal with, they've been consistent for 20 years plus.
Oh wow. Okay.
Giving out a certain amount of income per share. Okay. So here's the thing about the income fund.
Would you like to get into those? Is it a higher?
No. It's just like any other mutual fund. Mutual funds typically it's very little to get into. However, for it to be worth your while towards the end of your retirement, and you want to pull out 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 a month, you're going to need to put a lot into it to get that. You know what I mean? So if you want to pull out, let's say 60,000 a year, you need to put in $1 million to take out 60,000 a year at 6%.
Okay.
At 6%, right?
So it definitely is something that you start young.
Yeah, you got to start in there young. Okay. But yeah, so I mean, but you can still pull out. You have Social Security. Let's say somebody has Social Security and is paying them $2,500 a month. You can get another $2,500 a month from this with $400,000 or $500,000 in investment. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So here's the thing about those income funds. The income funds, if you just take the income, it'll pay you for the rest of your life because you're not depleting any of the principal. Okay. So it'll pay you about the same. So sometimes it might pay 6 point something, 6.5, sometimes it might pay 6.2, but it's around the same number. Okay. Okay. The good thing is all the principal you have will go to your heirs if you only take the income, right? All of it, no matter what, because you're not depleting the principal for income. You follow me?
Yep.
The only challenge is inflation because it's going to pay about the same, but cost of living is going to go up 1, 2, maybe 3% every year.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hear people say, well, I'm on a fixed income, this is the type of thing that they're talking about. They can't go outside their budget. Inflation is going to hurt them real bad after a long period of time. So a lot of people, you got to choose between these three options. There may be more, but these are the three main ones that you can definitely trust. And so, but they might do a little bit in some, a little bit in the other,
Okay.
try to keep up with inflation, try to leave a bit for the kids, those are the things you got to consider. So
And
yeah,
so
that's the information I want to give off today.
this works in connections, as you kind of look forward. This would work kind of in connection with Social Security. Like you said, if you're getting
Yes.
2,500 from Social Security, then this would be another 2,500. So you could do that 60 grand a year or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's great.
Okay, so now what about those of us who didn't really get into investing until we were older? Do we have to just drop big chunks? And if we were going to choose between the income funds versus the annuity, then which one would you suggest?
Okay, so the first question is depending on how much time you have left. Because if you have a year left, say it again.
So we never know that.
Well, how many years you have left until you want to retire?
Okay. I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah, yeah. How many? No, no, not until you die. No, no, no. How many years you have left until you want to retire? Because, if you have a year left, Xavier, you might as well not put that in the market because the market could go one or two ways. And if it goes the way you don't want, that money that you had is now less. You don't want that. Okay. You might as well keep that in the bank or whatever. But if you have 5, 6, 7 years left, you can still invest in something and have it grow a little something. You know what I mean? You could still do that. But you do have to put large amounts away or the other thing that you could do is if you're anywhere close to paying your house off.
Mhm.
Most people's house mortgage is like $1,800. 15, 18, $2,000. Okay. If you pay your house off, it's like you have an extra $1,800 a month coming in because $1,800 a month you don't have to pay. Now, some of that is taxes and interest. So let's say $1,200, something like that. You still got to pay the taxes and insurance. So let's say it's an extra $1,200. So paying off the house, if you're close and you don't have a whole lot of money to save, paying off the house is one way by decreasing your expenses that you can increase your cash flow,
And
right?
you have a house that's paid off, then that is collateral toward something.
That's true.
'Cause you
That's
can
true.
reverse mortgage, right?
You could do those are very, very intricate. You have to get a lot of information on, make sure that's right for you. Get with some specialists about reverse mortgage. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, but it is a possibility.
Mhm.
It definitely is a possibility. Home equity line of credit would probably be better than that. But yeah, so what else? If you're late, yeah, those are some of the things that I could think of. But the reality is going to be is if you're late and you don't have enough saved, it's really going to behoove you to know what your situation is going to be going in. Because it's like, if you think you're going to live exactly like you're going to live and you don't have a lot of money saved and you're going to run out of money. It's period, point blank period. But if you know I can only spend X amount every month in retirement, then you have a chance to actually prepare for that type of lifestyle, whatever you need to do. You know what I mean? So
You know,
whenever you can, as soon as you can, get with somebody to help you prepare for what you have going into retirement.
One of the things that I like about doing this show is that so my demographic is like 25 to 55. Um, well, and I know I have some 60-year-olds, but they didn't show up on my last analysis. It said 25 to 55, and actually it's 57% male, so you know
Okay.
that. Yeah. But I like it because the younger people who do listen to my shows and stuff, they're getting this information, especially if they're 25, they're getting this information when they got everything
Yeah.
ahead of them. Or okay,
Mm.
we won't say everything ahead of them because we know that people go whenever. You know, there are 25-year-olds that go as well. But
Yeah.
when we talk about in terms of retirement, and we're talking about in terms of how long you have ahead of you before you reach retirement age and you want to be free, or even if you want to retire early, that's something that you now can plan for, and not have to do it by what the company says, well, my company won't let me retire, you know, you can retire whenever you reach that financial goal
Yes.
that you're setting for yourself. And when you get enough in that thing, so with the, okay, maybe I'm wrong though, but so with the income funds and the annuity, in order for them to start paying off, do you have to be retirement age?
No.
Okay.
No. Mm-mm.
So if you get 4 million in there and you want to start and you want to retire at 50 and you want to start getting your payments at 50,
Yep.
you can do that.
Yep. You can start taking annuity payments. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Now,
See,
now
that's the sweet spot.
typically you're supposed to take out of annuities at 59 and a half, but you can start taking out earlier than that. You can if you want
Is
to.
there a penalty?
There typically there is a penalty to take out a little early, but it's not big.
Okay.
It's not a big penalty. So yeah, typically it's 59 and a half. I mean, yeah, because a lot of times they're going to be associated with IRAs. Not every time, but a lot of times they're going to be associated with IRAs. But yeah, if you have it in there, you can start taking out before 59 and a half.
So is there any type of investment?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, aside from real estate that's going to give you a monthly payment, regardless of whenever you get it started. Things like that. Is there any type of investment fund like what we're talking about that would allow you to take payments without a penalty at whatever age you decide you're ready to retire? If I'm 50 and I just want to travel for the next 5 years, or maybe I want to just take off work and figure out something new to do. Is there anything that lends itself to that?
Income funds.
Income funds.
Yes. Income funds, bonds, straight bonds. You can buy straight bonds. A lot of the books you will read will tell you only buy treasury bonds or federal government backed bonds. But yeah, they pay out anytime. Like if you own a bond, they pay what they call a semi-annual coupon, typically treasury bonds and treasury bills. So that can start anytime.
Okay.
Yeah, that can start anytime.
Every time we do a show, I learn something that I need to look into. I'm just gonna have to give you a phone call one day and be like, okay, what is this? I always say I'm doing it, and then I get so busy, but I should slow down pretty soon. It should slow down eventually.
Well, now what you have going on with the house, right?
Oh yes, I'm excited. For one, it's something that I love. So, I do events. I'm the director of events for the Wisconsin Black Chamber, and I love what I do. So it's a lot of fun to me. And so this with the house, and everybody's talking about, oh, you just don't know all the stuff you're gonna run into. I have an idea. This won't be my first time rehabbing a house.
Hmm.
Hold on one second. Uh, I'm not sure people know that I do a show. But they still call me anyway. You
Right.
need to text me first. Anyway. Um, so yeah, I know that there's some things that I could run into, once you open up the walls, that's when you find all the stuff. But that's kind of the fun part of, okay, what it'll be, and this is we've owned this house for over 50 years, so I'm already prepared to run into some stuff. But yeah, so this will be income as well, because it'll be an
Yes,
Airbnb at some point.
that's right.
So that'll start to pay out. I don't know what it'll pay. And there's other little things, like the Turo stuff and all of that.
That's cool.
Get all that stuff stocked up too, or stacked up, however you want to say it, so that you compound your income, not just one.
Good.
I heard that you need to have 7 sources of income. So I'm gonna go over there and get some of your income funds. Need to get some bonds and bills.
Yes,
And I don't know, I might be a little far for that annuity to work out for me, right? But there's still other options. I definitely wouldn't want
absolutely.
anyone to become discouraged, because they may be 55 already and
You
feel like
can't.
they have
Yeah.
no options.
You got to deal with the cards that you're dealt, man. And being discouraged is not going to help you.
Right, right. And a
Mhm.
lot of us, well, I know me, my parents were older. My dad was 91 when he died. My mom's 87. She's in a nursing home though. So my parents were older, and I swear sometimes I feel like they were the generation right after slavery, because they just they didn't know this stuff.
Right.
And a lot of this may not have even existed yet. You
Hmm.
but they didn't know anything. I think they were both really excited when my dad, after he retired, he decided to drive a school bus, and he bought some stock in the school bus company. I mean, he later turned it in already, but um, that was like a big deal that dad had bought some stock in a company.
Right.
So
Right.
what they taught me about money and investing was absolutely nothing.
Wow.
I wound up dating a guy that was really into it. He had been in the military, and I guess he had learned a lot from other people. So when I dated him, he just started talking about all of these different ways to make money. And I was like, really? That was right up my alley.
Right.
So then I've been interested in it ever since then. But you have definitely taught everybody who's been listening some things, especially the annuity. I didn't know anything about annuities. I've never even heard of income funds. So I
Mm.
definitely appreciate you telling us about that. So tell us some more before we run out of time. Let me shut
Beautiful.
up.
Well, since we're already out of time, I want to give this tidbit to the young people. The trap that young people fall into is, I have a lot of time. When you tell them they have a lot of time, you're telling them they should do something. They hear, I got a lot of time, I don't have to do nothing yet. You know what I mean? No, we're saying you have to do something to take advantage of the fact. Because if you don't think 50 is gonna, no, not it's going to, that 50 creeps up on everybody that turns 50, you're crazy.
I
Like,
was
how in
just
the
in
hell?
yesterday.
Like, how in the hell did I get 50? Like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? So it's like it will sneak up on you quick.
It's
So
up
if
on
you have an opportunity to get started investing and looking at the future, you do it immediately. Like, I was told, you start building wealth the second you get your first paycheck.
that would be smart. But
You know what I mean?
what happens? I remember when my youngest daughter turned 26. I said, "Ooh," I said, "You're gonna be 30 before you know it." Now she's 32, and she's like, "Mom, you said this and this and this, and now you got me feeling old." I was like, "You're not old yet." I said, "But you're gonna be 40 in a minute."
You won't even blink one time and you're 40.
Yep. And then once you hit
Telling you.
40,
The 40s go the fastest, I think.
it's just once you hit 40, it's like no time before you're 47. Once you turn 40, you're 47 in no time.
Immediately.
And then once you hit 47, you just like, what in the hell has happened here?
And the time goes by faster and faster and faster the older
Dang.
you.
And then when you start looking at 60, you just be like, dang, okay, all right, okay. What
So I
is
just want to
this?
put that out there for the young people.
It definitely goes fast. So when we're
Goes
talking about
fast.
start young, if you are listening to us and you have income, you need to start now. You need to start now, because going to get that bottle of Hennessy and turning up with your friends is not going to help you when you
Telling you.
when you 47 and you thinking
Yeah.
about your family and your future and stability and all that other kind of stuff. And it's gonna come. I mean, I'm not saying don't turn up with your friends. You need to
Right.
go and create those memories, but you
Live your
also
life.
prepare for when you're not actually wanting to go out and actively work.
That's right. One eye on the present, one eye on the future.
Yes. Yes. Turn up with your funds. All right. So you wrapped up. That was your wrap up. That's what you want
Yes.
young people. All right. Man, this just goes so quick. And then we had this whole issue with going live, and I still don't know if we live, but I know we did record it. So it will be seen one way or another. And so I hope I asked all the questions and pointed out all the things that people should definitely take into consideration, especially our young people. So your next show is Financial First Friday. So the first Friday of every month, we are here at 12 noon. And is there a way for them to contact you, Boca?
Yes, WorJoloFinancial.net. WorJoloh. Right up here next to
Jalo.
my bald head right there.
You see your bald head on there?
Yes.
All I see is my bun. I got to figure out how I could
WorJoloFinancial.net. Yes, come see
keep
me.
looking. It looks like we're looking into the camera. I don't even know where my camera is. But anyway, all right. So we will see you guys next Friday, not next Friday, the next first Friday of the month, which I believe is October. Is it the 4th?
I don't have it. It probably is the 4th.
I think it's October 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, October 4th. We'll see you at 12 noon with Ease Your Financial Mind with Boca Wordjalo.
Perfect.
Got it. All right. Until then, stay safe and be prosperous, everyone. And
Take care.